So today I really wanted to talk about how we think and feel. And how we think and feel is just as important, if not more as important than how we look. Now, where am I going with this? Is quite often what happens is we spend so much time and energy focusing on how we look. We really forget to recognize how we think and feel during that process. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with wanting to look nice. There's nothing wrong with, you know, wanting to feel nice by either what you're wearing or where you're going. There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. But there's a really fine line between taking care of yourself and actually putting yourself in not a very good place mentally or emotionally. So again, what do I mean by this? Is quite often we are so focused on weight loss. We are so focused on being a certain size that we think we should be, or we think we feel at our best, or we think we look at our best, should I say. And we're so focused on that size. We are so focused on that body size. We are so focused on that number on the scale. We forget very, very, very important things here. We forget about how we feel during this process and how we think. Because these are two really, really, really important fundamental parts of health. You know, how we think, how we feel, and obviously, you know, how we feel, how we look physically. If we want to, how we act and feel physically, not necessarily how we look, but how we physically can move our body, are all massive, massive parts of health. Now, some people put size into health. I don't at all. I have seen many, many people that, you know, your body size does not determine your health whatsoever. So please, you know, do not be, you know, disillusioned by this. Our body size does not determine our health. And what can happen is we can get so focused, like I said a minute ago, on being a certain size. So if our natural set point or our natural, and I want to say weight for this conversation, if our natural set point or weight or size is bigger than what we want it to be, what can happen is we get so focused on trying to be a smaller size than our body naturally is genetically. We get so focused on that we lose sight of our how we feel and how we think in the process. So we can start like overthinking foods. We can start craving foods. We can start having been triggered by foods. We can start getting really quite snappy and you know, snappy with people, maybe our friend, our loved ones. We can start really like wanting foods that we are telling ourselves we cannot have. We can be starving ourselves. We can feel miserable. You know, our sleep gets, you know, our sleep gets affected as well. Our mood gets affected. We start feeling anxiety. We start feeling stressed. All these different things start happening when we are intentionally trying to force our body into a place where it doesn't want to be, right? So all these things start happening. And again, we are in that society where we can be so focused on our body size and shape that actually we lose sight of everything else. We lose sight of what is health to you. Now, health to me is how we think, how we feel, and how we move our body. That is what health is to me, right? That is what health is. It's like a full package. It's not just about how we look. It's not just about the size of jeans we wear. If anything, it is so much more than that. It is actually nothing to do with those things, right? It's nothing to do with the size of jeans you wear. It's nothing to do with, don't get me wrong, how we look. And again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look nice. There's nothing wrong with wanting to, you know, go out and put a nice dress on. There's nothing wrong with that. But really, 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 if that is your main focus, if your main focus is the size of the dress that you wear and losing weight, take a step back. Take a step back and actually think to yourself, am I happy during this process? Is this process actually helping me or is it hindering me? Because quite often, again, this process can actually be hindering us and we don't even realize it. We're so stuck in this habitual pattern of I'll start my diet on Monday, I'll stick to these calories, I'll stick to a 1200 calorie diet, which is just not possible, not realistic, and not healthy at all for people to be following those type of diets. But yet people do it every week. We get stuck in that habit. We get stuck in that ritual of starting a new diet every week. And then every weekend, I can guarantee you that when we start our new diets, we will feel like a failure. We will feel like when we haven't stuck to that diet, we are to blame. We are a failure. We are to blame. When actually, that's not it at all. We are not to blame. Our body is not to blame. That manipulation and that trying to change our body into something that it's not meant to be naturally. That is not us. We are not meant to blame in all this. We have been fed and given lots of messages that we need to change how we look, and it's all about visual, and it's not at all. It's not about visual. I really want to also kind of like say something to you about when you meet people. When you meet people, and say for example, if you were, and I don't want to say if you were looking for a partner, but say for example you was dating. You're dating, like, you're going out, you're meeting people, you're dating, right? You've met loads of people, right? You've met loads of people dating. You've met like really, really handsome person who you thought was absolutely gorgeous. But that when you met that person, they spoke to you. They spoke to you in a really bad way. They spoke to the waiter or the waitress in a really, really rude manner. They were really condescending. They were really arrogant, and they wasn't very nice. They wasn't a very nice person. Would you walk away still being attracted to that person? No. I can guarantee you wouldn't be. Then you meet somebody else who isn't necessarily stereotypically good looking, but he comes in or she comes in, they meet you, they make you feel welcome, they make you feel, that they want you to be with them. They listen to you, they make you laugh. They make you feel cared for, even though you don't even already know them. And you really enjoy that time with that person. Who do you think you are going to be more attracted to? That person who you think is visually attractive, that person who you think is beautiful, but actually they're not very nice at all. Yeah, they're not a very nice person. Or the person that comes in, got a really nice smile, is really kind, really empathetic, really, really generous. All these things are really funny, and really made you feel really comfortable when you were sat talking to them. Who do you think you'd be more attracted to? I know who I'd be more attracted to. And the reason why that is because we are normally attracted to how people make us feel, right? We are attracted to how people make us feel. Yes, there might be a physical attraction initially at the beginning, but if they don't make us feel very good, we're not going to stick around with them, are we? We're not going to stick around with them. We are attracted to how people make us feel, yeah? So I really want you to take a step back and think, right, okay, do you really think that, like, at the end of the day, people, and I don't want to say people, but what are people more bothered about you? How you make them feel, or if your jeans are a little bit tight, right? People care about how you make them feel, honestly. And like I said, they really, really, that's what people love about people. They love about their values, they love about your worth. People love you for being you, not for your jean size. So, really going back to the reason why I wanted to do this video in the first place was when you are on this process, and if you are on this process of dieting and restricting and trying all these fad things, that you are actually making yourself unhappy, you are making yourself sick doing these things, please really take notice of your body, because your body will always tell you. Your body, if you are feeling unhappy, if you are feeling hungry, if you are starving yourself, if you're feeling miserable, if you're feeling down, right? Your body is trying to tell you something's not quite right. And we normally never ever put it down to our diet. So please look at how you are eating. Are you feeding yourself enough? Or are you trying to forcefully put your body into a place, into a size, into a jean size, into a weight that your body doesn't want to be, or is not even want to be? It's not meant to be naturally. Like I said before in a previous video, we all have different, different genetics, different genes. We are all meant to be different sizes, yeah. So it's not one size fits all. So please don't feel that you need to fit into a box and be a certain size, because it's complete and utter rubbish. Focus on how you feel, focus on your thoughts. If your thoughts are negative, then please start working on those. Start working on the things internally as well as externally. And again, by me saying that, I'm not promoting going on diets, because diets only actually make our thought process and how we feel worse. Like I said, it can make us feel like a failure. It can make us feel like there's something wrong with us. It can make us feel overwhelmed. It can trigger lots and lots and lots of different emotions. So please, when you look at health, don't just focus on the physical. Focus on the emotional. Focus on how you think. Focus on how you feel. Focus on moving your body. Yeah. And when you do all of these things together, actually what will happen is you will feel a lot better. So it was a really, really, really short, quick one, because like I said, I'm not feeling that great today. So I just wanted to hop on because I said I would, do this live every week. But I hope you've got some value from today. So like I said, I will pop on next week. If you've watched the replay, give me a hashtag replay, and I will see you next week. Bye for now. Mwah.